Oke, halo, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat sore, sobat Abdi Muda. Kembali
Waalaikumsalam.
lagi bersama kami, Dicky dan Rima di acara webinar Abdi Muda.
Yay, Dicky,
Yes.
why are you speaking in Indonesian?
Oh my God, I forgot. Today we have to speak up in English, right?
Of course, that's why we held this webinar. You know,
no
this
way.
webinar is created to improve your English speaking skills. You know,
I'm
you've
really
been complaining to
speak
me.
English. I'm so
Yeah.
nervous. Like people will judge my accent. You know, my accent is really medok, and then and you know my grammar, my pronunciation. Yeah, I have the courage to speak up.
Well, don't worry, because in this webinar, we will be talking some tips and tricks on how to improve your English speaking skills. That's why for the whole 1.5 hours we will be together, we're going to speak fully in English. All the participants, including us, the moderator, will host the webinar with English fully. And but before everything, let's introduce ourselves first.
All right. Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Dicky Johar Pribadi, or people call me Dicky. I know it sounds strange in English because Dicky means something bad. Anyway, I work at one of the ministries in Indonesia, and currently I also one of the members at Abdi Muda as well. How about you, Rima? Could you introduce yourself as well?
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Rima. I'm also from Abdi Muda. Currently, I'm working as a civil servant in one of the ministries in Indonesia.
Ooh, which ministry is that?
As I said before, we create this webinar to bring out a safe environment in which everyone can speak in English freely without have to worry about being judged, without having to worry about making mistakes, forgetting about any vocabularies. Don't worry about that. This webinar is a safe place as long as you are actively participating, because we all are learning, right?
Right, Rima.
Yeah, so in this webinar, we will be answering some of your concerns about English speaking, how to speak like a fluent, like a native.
Native, right?
How to speak fluently without having to, what is it? Remember about grammatical errors.
Perhaps,
Without having to worry about making some kind of
mistakes, yes.
Especially forgetting about some vocabularies. Don't worry about that because we already invite a very special guest for today to answer all of your concerns about how to improve your English speaking fluency.
All right.
Okay, yeah, but before everything, let's explain more about this webinar first. What are we going to do today? What kind of fun activities that we're already preparing for today's webinar? Okay, let's talk about this webinar session. Host, can you help me? This webinar will be conducted in 5 fun sessions. The first session is we will be listening to a presentation from our speaker, and then followed by participants going to be assigned to a small room to discuss a certain topic. You will be in the small room in your groups for like 20 minutes. And after that, you will be coming back to the main room, and one delegation from your group is going to present your discussion result. After the discussion, we will have some Q&A session in which you can ask our speaker anything that you have been concerning about to improve your English speaking fluency. And the last session, last but not least, we're going to take photos together to remember about our fun webinar today. Next. These are some ground rules for today's webinar. Like I said before, because this webinar is a safe place when everyone can freely express themselves speaking in English, so I'm really encourage you to not be shy and actively participating in all sessions. But remember to be polite and respectful in delivering thoughts and your opinions, okay? Also, no judgment or snarky comments on or snarky comments on other people's English skill, because we all are learning here, right? And please remain quiet and pay attention while our speaker is doing his presentation. And last but not least, on the discussion and Q&A session, what you have to do is raise your hand, use the raise hand facility on your Zoom, and then after that, we will call out your name. After we call out your name, unmute yourself and then speak directly to our speaker, okay? I think that's very easy to remember.
Okay.
But aside from this webinar, I also have some fun info to share with all participants for today. For example, Abdi Muda. In Abdi Muda, we have our podcast. Our podcast channel is called RDK, Ruang Diskusi Kita Bersama Abdi Muda. You can just search it up on Spotify and follow our podcast channel, because every Friday we will upload a new episode on our podcast channel, discussing about many interesting various topics. We also will invite some famous, well-known and expert speaker on our podcast. So make sure you follow us on Spotify and have it a listen. The next one is about webinars. Since the quarantine period, we in Abdi Muda has been holding some very interesting webinars every week, sometimes twice a week. We will talk about many various topics. We invite famous speakers, like, for example, Indra Bhakti. We had our webinar last week, inviting Indra Bhakti to teach us about how to do public speaking. Yeah, we also do collaboration with some famous organizations, well-known institutions like Rumah Milenial, for example. And then today, we're collaborating with Britzone. Okay. Any other info that you want to share, Dicky?
Yes. Don't forget also, guys, for next webinar, there will be tips and sharing about field competency selection of civil servant candidates, or we call it SKB CPNS, yeah. And it will be conducted on Saturday, 16 May 2020, start at 2 to 4 p.m. on Zoom. So don't forget to join that. And besides that, Rima, we want to remind you all also that Abdi Muda also calls for donation. Here, tumbler for charity. So if you want to buy this cool and cute tumbler, but at the same time you want to give a donation for people who get affected by COVID-19, you must order this one, because the 20% of this profit will go to those in need. And no worry, you can also customize your tumbler by writing your name, your institution, or perhaps you want to give a surprise to your girlfriend or boyfriend, so you just write your boyfriend or girlfriend's name as the prize in your own tumbler. So if you guys,
that's so interesting.
Please do not hesitate to WhatsApp this number on your screen. And what are you waiting for? Make your own tumbler. And secondly, Rima, we also open for donation during this Ramadan. Actually, this Ramadan charity has been starting since 25th April, and it will be closed on 15 May 2020. So you still have time, actually, because today is 13 May, right? You can go to your mobile banking and send right away your donation through the bank account number as it's stated in your screen. And your donation will be transferred to be staple needs, including instant noodle, tea, sugar, sardine, rice, soy sauce, egg, cooking oil, and salt. And all of these will be distributed to people who get affected by coronavirus and the economic downturn, for instance, to the homeless, people who lost their job, and ultra micro enterprises, and so on. And not forget to mention, we would also say massive thank you for all people who have contributed to our charity program. Since as of today, we received almost 6 million rupiah. Wow, it's
Whoa.
a number, yeah. So thank you very much, guys. So no matter how big your donation it is, remember that your small contribution will mean a lot for someone's life. And last but not least, we also want to ask a favor from all of you guys to fill out our Abdi Muda survey by clicking that link on the screen, or just write bit.ly Abdi Muda survey. And this purpose of this survey itself is to improve Abdi Muda's program to cater the needs of youngsters. Like if you guys have suggestion or opinions in order to improve our programs, don't be shy. You might deliver it through our survey. And bear in mind, we will give you prize for four lucky winners.
Whoa.
25,000
How much?
rupiah OVO cash each. 25,000 rupiah.
25,000.
Yes,
Okay.
I will try later to fill that survey after this session, Rima. All right, next. So, as we mentioned earlier, that today is our special day since we have to speak in English. Well, today's webinar topic is how to improve English fluently, particularly in speaking.
Speaking.
Yes, it must be very useful for us, right? And
Sure, sure.
additionally, this special day also becomes more special since our special guest from Britzone English community. Yes,
Well,
and
can you tell us more about him?
yes, is the president of Britzone English community, Mas Eldi Taufik. So apart from being the president of Britzone English community, Mas Eldi is also a teacher at YCAB Foundation. Besides that, Mas Aldi also likes to play basketball and joining community. Well, I can tell that he's passionate about community empowerment, fun English, and teaching them. Well, Rima, actually, I can.
Dicky.
Mhm.
I heard here that he is the president of Britzone. Can you tell me more about what is Britzone, though?
Yes, so that's why I'm going to tell you. Actually, I have joined several Britzone sessions before. I'm quite busy like right now with Abdi Muda. Well, anyway, Britzone is the biggest free English community in Jakarta, and it was established in 2002. And the community was built to accommodate those who want to scale up their speaking skill, English, through learning by doing method. And a fun fact about Britzone, Rima, currently Britzone has more than 1,000 members around Jabodetabek. Wow.
Whoa.
And I've just known also, Rima, that Britzone also opens new branch in my hometown, which is in Surabaya. And
Really?
if I'm still in there, I would join them definitely.
Whoa, that's awesome.
Yes,
Very,
and
very
Rima, I will tell you
interesting.
my experience during attending one of the Britzone session. So I was forced to speak in English, even though that my English was quite bad, my pronunciation again, as I told you, my Medok accent. But my experience was so memorable and very fun at the same time, since we could discuss interesting and up-to-date issues, and without being afraid to be judged by people in terms of our grammar, vocabs, and our pronunciation, and so on. And Rima, the topic that Britzone usually raises for the discussion is always very catchy, such as young empowerment, free community, education, volunteering, and so many more. Well, I think I have talked too much here.
Seems so interesting.
Yeah.
How about we just invite our speaker directly today so that we can ask him more.
Let's call our speaker today, Mas Eldi Taufik. Give round of applause, everyone.
Hello, Mas Eldi.
Hi.
How are you today?
How are you?
I'm good. What about you guys?
We're great. We can't wait to talk more about how to speak English so fluently, right? And especially Dicky just mentioned to me that joining Britzone has been improving his English pretty significantly, I guess.
Yeah, and it was so much fun. You can start your presentation now, Mas Eldi.
But before that, Dicky, I have some questions. Actually, it's not questions. I have something to share. So, many people has been like telling me that something that they concern about pertaining to speaking in English. They were like, Rima, can you give us some tips and tricks on how to confidently speak in English without, the fear of being judged by the society? Because when we're learning, of course we're going to make mistakes, right?
Mhm.
And that kind of constant anxiety of society will judge us for making mistakes while speaking in English has been influencing people's fluency, right? And also some people ask me some tips and tricks on how to maintain the fluency to speak in English, while at the same time you also have to remember about grammars, about vocabularies. Mas Eldi, can you please give us some enlightenments on how to overcome those kind of concerns?
Yeah, thank you for the question, Rima. So yeah, that's why this webinar will help, yeah, because we want to answer the question like Rima got. So yeah, okay. So so can you make a full screen, moderator? Yes. Okay. So thank you, Rima and Dicky, for the explanation about Britzone. So let me introduce myself. My name is LD. You can call me LD or L, whatever. So I'm here as a representative of Britzone. For those who don't know Britzone, yeah, like Dicky said, we have regular class 3 times in a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And now Britzone, we are located in Jakarta and Surabaya. So there is you can find us at Loop Station in Darmo in Surabaya. Also, you can come to our class in Jakarta at Library of Kemendikbud. Kemendikbud itself is in Senayan.
Yeah.
So couple weeks ago, one of the Abdi Muda's committee asked me to have a class in Abdi Muda's webinar. She asked me to conduct about speaking English. Then I started to think, how long have we been learning English? Then I got a fun fact about the answer. Can you next? What? Nah. So usually we learn English from elementary school, specifically for our generation, 90s, we learn English from 4th grade. And we continue to junior high school, KG next, nah. And then until senior high school. So in total, next please. So in total, we already learned English for about 9 years. And it's not a short journey to learn only one subject. And then after that, some of us still continue to learn English in our university. It depends on your major. But for me, I took a commerce, so it's related about marketing. It relates about marketing. So so I learned about English business or English management. So next, please. So 9 years or 10 years, it's not a short journey to learn only one subject. Then the question is, why we still not feeling enough? I mean, why we are not expert in English? Because we already learned about 9 years. We study English about 9 years or 10 years, but we still have lack of vocabularies. For example, we still need to take a course. So there are a lot of answer about it, but specifically for speaking, I did a little survey in my Instagram. Next. Yeah, I asked to, yeah, as you can see on the screen, there are 70 countries that using English as the first language. Then, yeah, you already know that if you want to study abroad or learn or traveling, at least you have to speak English even a little bit. Then I asked to my follower, what is the big obstacle to speaking in English? And I got a lot of answer, but I make it 4 main points that I sum up next. Yeah, the first is focus on grammar. Second, lack of vocabularies. The third is confidence. Fourth is supportive environment. So let's discuss about it. Let's discuss about these problems. The first is focus on grammar. Next. Yeah. This is motorcycle, and I'm pretty sure that most of us can ride the motorcycle. But how many of us know about the theory to ride motorcycle? I will show you two of the theory of riding motorcycle. Next. Okay. The first, you have to turn on the sign lamp from 40 meters. That's the theory. Have you know that? I'm not sure that all of us know about it because sometimes do we count it when it's already 40 meters? So oh yeah, I have to turn on the sign lamp. Uh, Most of us maybe it's from 100 meter we already turn on sign lamp, or even maybe from 1 meter, or even when we want to turn right, we turn on the sign lamp to the left, maybe. So that's one of the case that, yeah, theory is important. Theory is important, but you still can ride motorcycle even you are not really know about the theory. And I have another story. This is from my teacher. She said that uh, she took master degree in USA. She got scholarship. Yeah, it means that she has a high TOEFL score then. But the first time she came to USA, she said to me that she couldn't speak to anyone. She said she cannot understand what people said in USA. Using English, but the problem is, yeah, she got scholarship. She has a great TOEFL score, but when she tried to speak to American people, she doesn't understand what the people say. So it means that if you want to learn to speaking, don't focus on the theory. Don't focus on the grammar. Doesn't mean that grammar is not important. No, grammar is really important because grammar helps you to speak better. But at the first, fluency is more important than accuracy at the first. Okay, next. Second, lack of vocabularies. Next. Okay, so this is a common tips. Yeah, like watching English, watch to English movie, listen to English song. So since this quarantine period, I'm pretty sure that most of us already subscribe Netflix. So you can find a lot of movie in Netflix. But I strongly suggest you to, if you want to get a new vocabulary, yeah, using English subtitle or at least using English audio for the movie. Because if you find an uncommon vocabulary, at least you still know how to pronounce it. So yeah, it's gonna be problem if you love K-drama, for example. Yeah, as I know, in Netflix there is no English audio for K-drama, but maybe for another series such as Money Heist, for example, that's a Spain series, but they provide English audio. So you better you use the English audio and yeah, use the English subtitle. And then other than that, you still can learn from no back. Yeah, you still can learn from song. You can find the lyrics, and then after that you can translate the meaning of that. But actually, this is not what I do because I'm not really comfortable when I watch movie. Then I have to pause because I have to translate the uncommon vocabulary that I found. So this is what I do. Next. Yeah, maybe some of you know about this game. Well, actually, I prefer playing games than watching a movie. So I learned English from game when I was kids. This is one of the example of game that I played. Final Fantasy is a RPG game. It's like an adventure. So there are a lot of missions, conversations, dramas in the game. So I have to understand what the game said. If not, yeah, I cannot finish the mission. So since I love to play game, yeah, I love to play game that can make me smart or can make me get a new vocabulary. Especially if you play Final Fantasy, you will find a lot of uncommon vocabulary. And then the second is, I'm pretty sure in our room there is not only bed, laptop, or book. There are a lot of stuff in our room, right? So try to find out the English words from your stuff in your room, because I'm sure that there are a lot of stuff, there are a lot of vocabulary start from your room. So those are the alternative way. So you can choose which one that suited you. Next. Yeah, the third is confidence, and the fourth is supportive environment. It's connect each other for me. Next. Yeah, you still can build your confidence, like talk in front of the mirror, for example, and you can focus with your fluency or your pronunciation, but it is quite boring just talk to yourself. But the problem, sometimes our friend doesn't support us, such as they don't like English, for example, or even when we talk English with our friend, they said to us, so Inggris banget, or maybe they understand what we say, but they prefer to speak bahasa because it's more easy. No need to think. It's okay. At least you know you cannot improve your English with your friends. So find new friend then. Based on my experience, I sorry, I couldn't speak English fluently until I graduated from my university. In the last semester, I found Britzone. I still remember I didn't speak any words at the time. At the first, I came to Britzone because I'm so nervous. I'm not confident, or sometimes I understand what people said, but I don't know how to respond it. So yeah, it's okay. At the first, you will feel like that, but I realized in my community, Britzone, they have the same purpose like me, to practice English. So they will not judge you. They will focus on your speaking, or even if you lost your vocabularies, yeah, you your friend will help you. Then say so English or whatever. So it's not only in Britzone. I mean, if you want to Googling, search on Google, there are a lot of English community. So you can find a lot of supportive environment. For example, in Jakarta, as I know, there are 2 free English community and 1 paid English community. And there is also in Bekasi, I know 1 free English community, Depok, or yeah, in another place. So supportive environment is really important for you if you want to build your confidence, if you want to practice your English. So, and the last one is, don't forget, if you want to speak more, don't forget to listen more. Because it's similar with write. If you want to write more, you have to read more. So those are tips from me that based on my experience. So if you have a question, just hold it on, because yeah, we will have a Q&A session in the last.
Later on, right?
Yes. After this, we still have what is it, like practice session, yeah, something like that, discussions.
Yeah, we are going to meet.
Wow, thank you, KLD. That was very enlightening presentation.
Yeah, very insightful.
Yeah. Oh, for next session, what are you going to do, Dicky?
So we are going to split
split the participants to small groups.
Into small groups. We will have 5 groups, perhaps, right?
We will have 7 groups actually.
7 groups, yes.
Yeah. So all participants will be divided into 7 small groups on Zoom, in which in the small groups you have to discuss certain topic that we already assigned to you. Yes. Can the host please help me to display the presentation about split rooms? So as I said before, you all will be split into several small groups and assigned a certain topic to discuss about. Make sure everyone take turn to speak, because as I said before, this webinar is going to force you to speak in English without having to worry about making mistakes, without being worried about other people judging your English skills, okay? And because the limitation of our current time, I guess 20 minutes is just too long, we will reduce it to 15 minutes. Yes. Okay, and after that, after 15 minutes, come back to the main room. We will close the small group. We will close the small split rooms. You have to come back to the main room, and one delegation from each group should present what did you discuss about. Okay. Here, next slide, please.
So what are the topics? Oh no, facilitator.
Oh, this is also very important. In every group, we already assign one facilitator to make sure that you are actively participating, that you are actively speaking in English in this webinar, and properly discuss the topic given.
Okay, so what are the topics?
The topics are, here are the topics.
Let's check it out.
Host.
Okay.
Yeah. These are 7 topics that we already assigned for each group. Group 1 to group 7. So when you are assigned to a split room, please remember the number of your group and then the question. Your facilitator will remind you the question. Don't worry, just remember the number of the group that you are assigned to, okay?
Yeah, so it will be automatically, yeah?
Automatically divided to 7 groups. Oh, I think it's going to start very, very soon. Our host is busy preparing for the group dividend at the moment.
So make sure everyone will have a chance to speak up later in
Yeah.
your group, guys. Don't
Mm-hmm.
worry, don't be afraid, speak up.
Speak up, don't worry to make mistakes.
Yeah.
As we said before, this is a
It's
safe
time
environment, right?
to show your skill to learn together.
Mm-hmm. After this discussion in the split room, make sure you also prepare what are you going to share on the big room, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and decide who are going to present.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Perhaps while waiting for splitting the group, we
Mm-hmm.
can share or talk with Mas LD.
Master LD, can you share to us like some tips and tricks on how to like overcome the fear of making mistakes while speaking in English?
I think you should unmute first your microphone, Mas LD.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, practice makes perfect. It's really true. Because maybe I can say I can speak a sentence after I come to Britzone for about maybe the fifth times or sixth times. So yeah, after that I try to speak my my heart is a bit faster.
Yeah.
So yeah,
You're nervous,
yeah,
right? I think that's normal, nervousness while
nervous.
speak.
And
Yeah.
the problem is most of us we understand what people say, but the problem is sometimes we don't know what we have to answer or what we have to respond. Even we forgot the like common vocabulary, such as maybe we forgot our name, for example, or we forgot
Mm-hmm.
what is the water. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
nervous it can make you make you to lose your mind. Oh, the breakout room is already
Oh,
started.
the break room is
Okay,
ready.
so if any one of you got the notification that it's telling
The
the host
host is inviting you. Please join the breakout room right now.
join right now, okay? So see you in 15 minutes, guys. Right?
See you.
Hey, Kylie, do you leave the breakout rooms? Why so? Kylie, I think your microphone is still muting. Just unmute it, please.
I forgot to unmute. Sorry.
Kylie, I just shift you to rooms and rooms. Did you
Yeah.
like that? I'm sorry.
I'm waiting for you to move me to another group.
Oh, why do you like? No need, because the moderator said to me around 3 or 4 minutes left. So I think it's better for us to waiting for them here. It's okay?
It's okay. So your daughter joined the webinar?
Do you hear her? She just
Yes.
rambling something. Finish your meal first, okay, Kirana? You sit down there. Sana.
It's really interesting you teach her two language. Wow, cool.
Since 3 months, actually.
Oh, I see.
Actually, in my home, we speak bilingually. Like my husband speak Indonesian in very consistent, and mine speaks English very consistent also. So yeah, my daughter can speak to English and mix up.
Does she already school?
Yes, kindergarten school.
Oh, wow. So how many minutes that we have?
Well, actually, some facilitators request to hold the meeting 1 or 2 minutes again,
Okay.
because I think the participants are very enthusiastic, I guess.
Interesting, and they are very active.
Yeah, assuming.
You know what? I'm really fast to deliver the presentation. You know, when I did a rehearsal, it took like 15 minutes or 17 minutes. But since I saw a lot of Britzoners, yeah, it's getting fast.
It's okay. I feel your nervousness, but all the way was good. Okay, Kylie, just be ready because the facilitators told me that everybody is ready. Okay?
Okay.
Welcome back to the big room.
All right, we are back now in the main room, but I'm not sure that everyone is here already. Where is my partner, Rima?
Okay, has everyone come back?
Yes.
Okay, let's just continue to our next session. Who's going to share their discussion result? Who's going to speak first? Please raise your hand and we will choose who is going to speak.
Okay, maybe from my group, group 7.
My group 5.
Oh, okay.
Afin, do you
Okay.
want to speak?
Not me, but I want to choose my candidates from
Who?
our group because we don't yet get the candidates. Maybe
Okay.
wait a minute. Mas Renandi Putra, can you explain about our session in our class?
Mas Renandi Putra, can you
Yes.
please
Okay.
talk?
Yes.
Yeah, you
Okay,
may
Mas.
talk now.
Share your result of discussion.
Okay. Well, I'm from group 5, and the topic we are discussing is about what we love most. It means like it can be everything, but I choose the public transportation in Jakarta. Why? Because if I use private transportation like motorcycles or cars, it can take more time. For example, if I move from this place, my home to a place like 5 kilometers or 6 kilometers, if you ride motorcycles, it can take like 30 minutes, or it can be more if the street is crowded. But if I use public transportation like Transjakarta or MRT or KRL, yeah, it can less time, like just 15 minutes or 20 minutes. So I love public transportation in the Jakarta because it can save time for me, and it's cheap. I like that. Maybe.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for your
That's so
sharing.
interesting.
Yes.
Next, who's going to speak? Who's going to share their discussion for today? Come on, Davishai.
Maybe group 1.
Group 1, okay. Please introduce yourself first.
No, I just choose my candidates.
Okay.
Okay.
Who is he or she?
Who is going to
Benita
speak
Sitomora.
on behalf?
Okay. Hi guys.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm Benita from Kemenparekraf.
Okay.
All right.
And now
From group 1?
from group 1.
Okay.
The topic is, if I had to teach something, what will you teach?
Ooh.
Okay. Our answer is psychology. Because why? Psychology is related with our lives, like how to speak with everybody, how to know about yourself, especially now in pandemic. Okay, because I think we need to control our emotional, how to accept to new habits.
Okay. Like mental health, something like that?
Yes, mental health. I think mental health is very important things, because mental health is we cannot see a mental health in person to person, but mental health is very important things. So
you cannot see through physical, right?
Yes.
Mental health.
Mental health is very important things.
Sure. Yeah. So true.
So we need, maybe in pandemic, we need to speak
more about
positively talk about yourself, to control our emotional, how to accept new habits, like something like that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you.
Okay,
for your
totally
sharing as
agree
well.
with Benita. Next,
Yes.
next, who's going to share?
I think
one more. I guess this
one more, yeah. I
Yeah,
think
one
for my
more.
group 7. How about my group?
Oh, I saw here Putri Rahmatul raising hand. Hi,
Okay.
Putri.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. Can you please introduce yourself first?
Yeah, my name is Putri Rahmatul, but because there are two Putri here, so just call me Princess.
Whoa, okay, Princess.
Okay.
Okay, please go ahead.
My group is discussing about what makes us smile. So actually, there are so many opinions from our members. So there will be first, like when we are meeting our family, then our friends, which is a long time ago not find. Yeah, we found a peace, a smile inside of that. And then when we saw or see or watch or read jokes, yeah, it's kind of simple thing. And then when we pet a cat or dog or some animals which we found is interesting. And I think there are a lot of opinions in our groups, but that's all I can remember. I'm sorry.
It's fine. I think remembering what you excited about, what makes you smile at this quarantine period is really important because like Putri said, who said it? Oh, Benita, I guess. Benita said that we have to maintain our mental health, right?
Yeah,
that's right.
Stress relief, right? For stress relief.
So awesome. Okay, let's continue to our next session. Thank you everyone who's talking.
We don't have much time, so we have to move on to
so sorry. Yeah. Let's continue to our Q&A session. Who are going to ask our very special speaker today? You can raise your hand. Ask about anything to our speaker.
Our speaker is still here, right?
Yeah. Mas LD, are you there?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, maybe I can ask first.
Maybe I can ask as a participant.
Okay, Alvin.
Oh, there is Hisar.
Please deliver your question.
Okay, can I ask a question for Mas
Sure.
LD? Okay, Mas LD. This is about our good relation about Abdi Muda and Britzone in the future. Because this session is very satisfying for all of the members. Could we in the next future can make this another session in the next time? How about that? Mas, thank you.
Wow, there are two people give the thumbs up.
Whoa.
Yeah, previously I came to two groups and the activity is really active. So the participants speak more. So yeah, I think all of you enjoy the group discussion.
So the answer to Alvin's question is yes.
So
we're going to meet again in the future.
More, yes.
Yeah.
It
awesome. Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
There are more two questions, I think, from Hisar and Vendra.
Yeah. Hisar and Vendra. Maybe Hisar can talk first. Hisar.
Yes. Okay.
Hello.
Hi, Hisar.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, Hisar.
The question is, what are your tips for beginners to improve our English?
Pardon? Can you repeat?
What are your advice to beginners who want to improve their English?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Based on my experience, supportive environment is the first thing that you have to find. I mean, because we already learn or study English for about 9 years, it means that we already have enough about the theory, about the vocabulary, about the knowledge. So it's time to practice. It's totally okay if you, at the first you will feel, oh, okay, I understand what you said, but I cannot respond. I think like most of us feeling like that. So find a supportive environment is really important. You can ask your friend or find a community there.
Yes, find a supportive community, such as like today, right?
Such
we are
as
actually
Britzone and
we improve
join
our
Abdi
English.
Muda class, for example.
joining English
Thank
class.
you.
Okay,
Last
thank you,
question.
Nisa.
One more question.
Vendra.
Vendra.
Yes, I am. So
Hello.
hello, Mas LD. Actually, I
Hi,
just
Vendra.
asked a question like, what do you think, in your opinion, the difference of practicing speaking through online meeting like this or like a in-person meeting? Thank you.
So practicing speaking in video or in person in meeting.
Person, yes.
Yeah.
I think it's more challenging if we talk face to face. So you will feel nervous, sweaty, or something like that. So I prefer because there are, if you want to look at the Play Store, there are a lot of applications that provide us to have a find partner to speak. But for me, it's more challenging. It's better to face, So real friends is better.
Okay. Whoa, we already have another participant. Who, Sarah, maybe the last question from Sarah.
Okay, last question.
Hi, Sarah.
Hello. This is
That's
not
so cute. Okay.
this is not a question. It's more like an addition to answer. Who is that? Hisar, maybe about the beginner tips. Well, if you want to start practicing English, especially speaking, there's this app that I found quite effective, and maybe you can try it out too. It's called Hello. I'll type it out in the chat. I'm not promoting you guys. I'm not part of the team, but I'm a part of the community, and it's actually an app, an English learning app where there are actually actual teachers. They're actually actual teachers, real teachers from America, from Australia, from Britain, you name it. They're all there. They do live streams, and they teach you various things. They teach from grammar, some teach vocabulary, some also just teach like game mode type of thing. It's really fun. It's a really fun community, and also the students there can also do live streams, and sometimes some of the students actually teach us some things, and I enjoy being there. Although I'm not a beginner, but I also sometimes do live streams there and teach a few things and just socialize, and it also helps you with practicing speaking, because when you're speaking in the live stream, you can actually hop on the live stream, so you can actually have a conversation with the streamer. Yeah, so you can try that out if you want.
So Hello is HALLO.
Yeah.
Is an application that you can find on Play Store or Apple Store, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank you for sharing,
your
Sarah.
suggestions, Sarah. It's very helpful.
If you want to add more vocabulary, I found this website. It's actually a game, and it's quite difficult. It's quite challenging.
What is it called?
I'll type it out in the chat again. It's called No
Play
Word.
No Word. Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's quite difficult even for me, but it's great. It's a great way to enrich your vocabulary if you want to.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
for your
Wow,
suggestions.
we're getting insights now.
For us to improve our
Okay, yeah,
right?
so cool. Mas LD, maybe one last question. This is something that people frequently asking me, is that how to face grammar Nazi? like you said before, right? Having a supportive environment in speaking in English, in practicing speaking in English is very, very important. But how about we are surrounded by people who are kind of grammar Nazi? How can you overcome that? How can you respond to that kind of people?
Okay. Well, at the first, it depends on your need, because when you want to try to speak more, yeah, you have to don't care about the grammar things. So if there is a friend that correct your grammar, yeah, just take it, but you still focus on your speaking. But if you already confident, or if you already can speak fluently, yeah, so this is the time for you to take it seriously for the grammar Nazi. So you have to, fix the grammar, something like that. So it's really depends on your focus. If you focus on only on speaking, yeah, just like masuk kuping kiri keluar kuping kanan at the first, because at the first, yeah, fluency is more important than accuracy at the first.
Awesome. Thank you, Mas Ali. So if we can conclude today's webinar on how to improve our English speaking skills. Yeah, if I can, maybe if I can conclude it in 3 useful tips. The first one that Mas LD said was about practicing. Practice makes perfect.
Right.
And the second one is about having supportive environment, having supportive friends, having supportive colleagues. Also from Sarah suggestion of finding maybe cyber community that you can
or join like Britzone and Abdi Muda.
Yeah, Britzone or Abdi Muda.
Right.
Sure. And then the last one is to not take people's comment personally, right?
Yes.
Awesome. So maybe Mas LD can give us one short, brief closing statement about today's webinar.
About what? This webinar?
Yes, today's webinar.
For our participants.
Yeah. Well, actually, I didn't expect that all of you enjoy the speaking session. It means that you really need, you really wants to practice more. So yeah, like who's before the Fasils said, yeah, maybe we can have another session so you can practice more. We can practice more because speaking is the easiest one. Then for other skill like reading, writing, so speaking is the first step that you can do. So yeah, we still, yeah, I hope we still can do it in the future.
In the near future.
All
okay. Right. Wow. What a very insightful webinar we had today, right,
we had
Dicky?
really fruitful discussion as well with all of you guys. Thank you for coming. I think before ending our session, we should take pictures together, right?
Sure, we should take pictures together to remember about our fun moment together. Don't forget to check your picture result on our Instagram later on.
At Abdi Muda ID, right?
At Abdi Muda _ID.
Yes. So let's open our webcam.
Can you please, everyone, open your webcam?
Yes.
We will take
Don't
pictures
forget
together.
to wear your hijab if you are women, if you are men.
Grab your hijab swiftly.
Yes.
Since this is Ramadan session, yeah?
This is Ramadan session.
My camera isn't working, so best I can do is just, pop the profile picture of mine.
Oh, it's fine, Sarah.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
Okay, so, everyone's ready?
Everyone is ready, right?
Okay, 1, 2, 3, cheers. Next page, 1, 2, 3, cheers.
All right.
Okay, awesome. Thank you everyone for joining us today. See you soon on our next webinar.
Our next webinar, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Also, don't forget to fill out our survey because there will be prize, and also don't forget to check our Instagram to follow about our upcoming programs. Okay, yes, exactly. See you all. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Abdi Muda.
Thank you, Mas Aldi.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you next time.